Hi, team. It's Accounting Fundamentals. And the focus here in session 3 in the class is we're going to start working on journal entries. And remember that a journal entry is a reflection of the transaction that happens with a business. And the journal entry process for us is going to start with something called the Journal Worksheet. Here it comes. This journal worksheet is, full disclosure, it's made up by me, and it is a precursor to the actual journal template that we're going to use moving forward. If you showed the actual journal template to any accountant, they're going to recognize exactly what they is. If you showed any accountant what this journal worksheet is, they're going to go, oh, I kind of sort of see what's going on, but that's not an official document. We're going to use this journal worksheet to help us get a sense of the process. And this is kind of like, adding training wheels to the bicycle to help us understand and get the balance and get a feel for how things work. So the journal worksheet is available in the course workbook. The course workbook is what you bought from the Kirkwood's bookstore, and it has the actual worksheets that we're going to be using. I'm going to show you what that worksheet looks like here, like this. So now, you know what? I'm going to pause. I'm going to take this away. I'm going to come back I'm going to come back with a better view of it. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go here. And now you can see. Okay, so this journal worksheet is what we're going to use as the precursor. This is the training wheels version. So if I give you a quick tour of this worksheet, up here in the top left-hand corner, you can see this is all about journal entries. And we're up here in the middle of the page at the top, session number 3, right? That's where we're at in the course. ICA number 1 means the integrated content activity number 1. Yeah, that's a mouthful. All it needs to know is number 1 is where we start. You're going to see in the course workbook, you're going to see, I'm just going to switch tabs here for a second. You're going to see an ICA number 2, which is another one that we're going to play with in the class. You're also going to see, I'm going to give you some more size here, ICA number 3, just pointing out that these are just training wheel activity number 1, training wheel activity number 2, and training wheel activity number 3 that we're going to use in the class. So back to number 1. So just this video is all about getting a sense of how this journal worksheet is kind of constructed, what's in it. So here it says journal entries, and here's the transaction. So this from here through here relates to this first transaction. From here through here relates to the second transaction. So you can get a sense of how this is laid out. So here, a transaction, December 1, Luca has a $10,000 loan from the bank. This is all in support of Luca's lemonade truck. And down here, transaction number 2, December 2, we buy a truck. Luca buys a truck for $5,000 cash. Down the page a little further, December 8, we sell product for $800 cash. Luca's Lemonade sells product for $800 cash. So we know already to look out for cash. We know already to look out for cash. Sometimes cash is not indicated, but now this is where we need to use a little bit of upper level thought process. So in accounting, if a transaction has the terms on account or on credit or for credit or just the word credit. Now, in the transaction line, if it says that, not to be confused with over here where it says credit, that's debits on the left, credits on the right. That's the journal entry process. If in the transaction it says credit or on account, that means there was no cash involved. So clarification, if a transaction says the word cash, we know it's got cash. If it doesn't say cash, we're looking to see if it uses the term on account or on credit. If it doesn't say on account or on credit, we're assuming that transaction involves cash. So back to the structure of this worksheet. Here's the transaction. This is the journaling process where we're going to have a debit column, and the explanation of the transaction means what's the name of the account that is being impacted. Debits on the left, credits on the right. Over here, credits. What's the explanation of a transaction? We're going to record down here in the blue cell. What's the name of the account that's being impacted in this particular transaction? The yellow cell here is going to be the dollar value that supports this account. Over here under the debit column, the blue cell here is going to be the dollar value of the transaction that affects the credit account right here. Bottom right-hand corner over here, we're looking to find balance in the transaction. Luca Pacioli says that there always needs to be balance between the debit dollar value and the credit dollar value. So this is a little reference for us. Yes, if it does balance, we're good. No, if it doesn't balance, oh, we got a problem. We got to go back and fix it. Back to the structure of this template. This is the journal worksheet. So cash. So here is a reference to, is cash involved in the transaction? And right below it, if so, if cash is involved, is there cash coming in or cash going out? We have our little DC Adler cheat sheet over here, like a little mini template built in over here. And we're going to utilize that moving forward. Under the date column, well, the date is going to be when was that transaction occurring. So for here, December 1 is ultimately going to go here, but we're not going to fill it in just yet, just showing the layout of this template. So same thing down here, right? Where we've got cash. Is cash involved? If it is it coming in? Is it going out? DC Adler, little template built in, we're going to use it. Here's the actual transaction. We're going to record the date right here. The explanation under the debit column is what is the name of the account that's being impacted in the debit column. What is the name of the account over here in blue that's being impacted in the credit column? The dollar value of the debit goes here. The name of the account goes here. The dollar value goes here. Debit's on the left, credit's on the right. The name of the credited account goes here. The dollar value of the credited account goes here. Debit's on the left, credit's on the right. For the dollar value, debit's on the left, credit on the right. And ultimately, do we have balance? Yes or no? The goal is we need always, thank you, Luca Pacioli, need to have balance that happens right here. So this process is all about understanding just the layout of this journal worksheet. This is a precursor to the official journal, which we're going to call the traditional journal, right? We're going to use the traditional journal a little later, but right now this is our training wheels process that helps us get a sense of interpreting what's going on in the transaction, and then starting to enter this information in this form here. When we get to using the traditional journal template that any accountant in the world would recognize, then we're just going to pull information from this training wheel version and put it into the traditional journal, and our process is relatively straightforward. So at this point in time, I say, hey, I feel like we've achieved the goal of this video, and we're going to start to apply this coming forward. There's going to be another video coming out that will show us the actual, where I'm going to be using pencil on paper and showing you how we actually start this process. But for now, that's it.